is part 3. Okay. Lyra reacted first. A burst of white gold light exploded from her palm, striking the nearest Shadowborn in the chest. It staggered backward, its form rippling like smoke caught in a storm. Next left, Lyra shouted. Next pointed toward the second creature. Her magic wasn't sharp like Lyra's. It glowed warm, soft, almost gentle. And when she thrust her hands forward, the air shimmered. A wave of healing energy surged outward, not to mend, but to repel. The Shadowborn screeched as the light hit it. Its body crackled like cold stone. Rowan ducked under a swipe from the third creature and slashed upward with its rune-etched blade. The metal sparked against the creature's skin, leaving a glowing mark that pulsed angrily. They don't like light, Rowan yelled. Good, Laura growled. I've got plenty. She thrust both hands forward. Light erupted from her fingertips. Brighter this time. A beam that cut through the darkness like a spear. The first Shadowborn dissolved in a cloud of ash and vanished. Nyx grasped. Lyra! But Lyra didn't hear her. She was already turning toward the second creature, magic crackling around her like lightning. The Shadowborn lunged at Nyx again. Rowan tried to intercept, but he was too far. Nyx lifted her hands instinctively, and a dome of soft blue light formed around her. The creature slammed into it and recoiled its body, smoking where it touched the barrier. Nyx trembled. I can't hold it long. You don't have to, Lyra said. She sprinted forward, sliding across the dirt with a fierce cry. She slammed both palms into the ground. Light surged upward on a shockwave, blasting the creature off its feet. It hit a tree with a crack and dissolved in the dust. Only one remained. It circled Rowan, its movements jerky and unnatural. Rowan's blade glowed faintly, but his breathing was ragged. Lyra stepped forward, but Nyx grabbed her arm. Wait, let me. Lyra hesitated. Nyx, I can do this. Nyx stepped toward the creature, her hands glowing brighter than before. The Shadowborn hissed, sensing something different, something dangerous. Nyx closed her eyes. Her magic flared. A pulse of pure, radiant energy burst from her chest, washing over the clearing like a warm wind. The Shadowborn froze mid-lunge, his body crackling, splitting, and finally shattering into 1,000 tiny sparks that drifted upward and vanished. Silence fell. Nyx swayed. Lyra caught her before she hit the ground. Hey, Lyra whispered, brushing hair from her sister's face. You did it. Nyx smiled weakly. We did it. Rowan approached, wiping the sweat from his brow. You too. That was incredible. Lyra helped Nyx stand. That was nothing. If Frey thinks shadows will stop us, she's wrong. Rowan glanced toward the glowing portal. Then we moved, before more of them come. Nyx squeezed Lyra's hand together. Lyra nodded. Always. The three stepped toward the archway, the blue light pulsing like a heartbeat waiting for them. Chapter 6. The portal swallowed them in a rush of cold air and blinding blue light. For a moment, Lyra felt weightless, as if the world had vanished beneath her feet. Then her boots hit solid ground. They stood in a cavernous chamber lit by floating crimson lanterns. The walls were carved from black stone, etched with runes that pulsed like slow heartbeats. A long spiraling staircase wound upward into darkness, and the air smelled faintly of smoke and old magic. Nyx shivered. This place feels wrong. Rowan nodded. Frey's lair. She built it from shadow and blood magic. Stay close. Before they could take another step, a voice echoed through the chamber, smooth, cold, and far too familiar. Well, my darling granddaughter's finally arrived. Frey stepped from the shadows as if she had been part of her. Her long silver hair flowed behind her, and her eyes glowed a deep, unnatural red. She looked older than the last time the twins had seen her, older and far more powerful. Lyra instinctively moved in front of them. Where are our parents? Frey smiled, slow and cool, straight to the point, just like her mother. She circled them, her fingers trailing along the air as if she was tasting their magic. You've grown strong, both of you, stronger than I expected. Nyx swallowed hard. Where are they? Frey stopped, her smile widened. Alive, for now. Lyra's magic flared at her fingertips. Tell us where. Frey lifted a hand, and the runes on the walls brightened. A section of the stone shifted, revealing a narrow doorway carved with blood-red symbols. Through there, Frey said, a holding chamber. Their parents are inside waiting for the prophecy to be fulfilled. Nick's voice cracked. Why are you doing this? Frey's expression hardened. Because the prophecy demands balance. One twin must fall so the other may rise. Only then will our bloodline reach its full power. Lyra stepped forward, fury burning her eyes. We're not killing each other. Frey chuckled. We won't have a choice. The blood moon rises again in 2 nights, and when it does, she didn't finish. A sharp crack echoed through the chamber. Frey's eyes widened in shock as Rowan's bone-etched blade struck the back of her head with a hook. She collapsed to the floor, her magic flickering out like a dying flame. Nick gasped, Rowan! Rowan knelt beside Frey, checking her pulse. She's alive, but she won't be waking up for a while. Lyra stared at him. You knocked out one of the most powerful witches alive. Rowan wiped sweat from his brow. Trust me, I'm aware. Nick rushed to the doorway Frey had revealed. Come on, if our parents are in there, we have to move before she wakes up. Lyra nodded, gripping her sister's hand. Let's finish this. Rowan stepped beside them. Blade ready. Stay behind me. Frey wouldn't leave the chamber unguarded. But together they stepped through the doorway into the darkness beyond. The hallway behind the hidden doorway was narrow and cold, lit only by faint red rooms pulsing along the walls. Lyra led the way, her magic glowing softly in her palms. Lex stayed close behind her, her heart pounding so loudly she could barely hear Ron's footsteps. At the end of the corridor stood a heavy iron door carved with symbols that looked like the twisting vines made of shadow. Nick's gasped. I can feel them, they're closed. Lyra pressed her hand to the door. Mom, Dad, faint voice answered from the other side. Lyra, Nick's breathing pitched. Mom, Rowan stepped forward, examining the room. It's a binding spell. I can break it, but you'll need to stand back. Lyra hesitated, then nodded. Do it. Rowan placed his palms against the door. The runes flickered, then dimmed as if bowing to him. With a low groan, the iron door unlocked and swung open. Inside, Luna and Ajax were chained to the wall, weak but alive. Nick ran to them first, tears streamed down her face. Mom, Dad. Luna pulled her daughter into her arms. My sweet girls, you came. Ajax reached for Lyra, gripping her hand tightly. We knew you would. Lyra's face cracked. We're getting you out. Rowan stepped inside, pulling a small dagger from his belt. Did you change your spell? I can cut through the bindings. He knelt beside Luna's chain, slicing through the glowing links. They snapped with a hiss. He moved to Ajax next wept to tears. Thank you, Rowan. We couldn't have. She stopped. Rowan wasn't cutting Ajax's chains. He was carving a symbol into the stone. A symbol that glowed the same dark red as Frey's magic. Lyra's eyes widened. Rowan, what are you doing? Rowan didn't look up. Finishing what I was sent to do. Ajax struggled against the chains. Girls, get back. Nick stepped backward, shaking her head. No, Rowan, no, you helped us. You saved us. Thoughtless. Rowan finally looked up. His eyes were no longer the usual warm brown. They glowed the same deep, unnatural red as Frey's. I guided you here, he said, calmly, just as she commanded. Lyra's magic flared in her hands. You lied to us? Rowan stood, the rune on the floor pulsing brighter. I told you the truth. Your grandmother needs the prophecy fulfilled. One twin must die, and now that you brought yourselves right where she wanted, the ground trembled. The rune expanded, spreading across the chamber like a living thing. Luna grabbed Nick's arm. Girls, run. Rowan raised his dagger, pointed at its time. Lyra stepped in front of Nick, her voice low and fierce. You'll have to go through me. No smile. That's the idea. The rune erupted in a burst of red light, and the chamber plunged into chaos. Chapter 7. The room between Rowan's feet pulsed brighter, flooding the chamber with red light. The air cracked with dark magic, thick enough to taste. Nick stumbled backward, clutching Lyra's arm. Lyra, something's wrong. I feel. Rowan raised the dagger, the blade grown into Frey's magic. The prophecy begins now. He stepped toward them. Lyra shoved Nick behind her, magic sparkling violently at her fingertips. Stay away from my sister. Rowan went protective to the end. He lunged. Lyra threw up a shield of white cold light, but Rowan's dagger sliced through it like paper. The force sent her crashing into the wall. Nick screamed her name and ran to her side. Lyra, get up. Lyra groaned, blood trickling from her temple. Rowan approached slowly, savoring every step. You were never meant to survive this night, he said softly. Frey chose me because I can do what she cannot. Nick's hands trembled as she held Lyra's face. Please, Please, don't leave me. Lyra's eyes fluttered open. I'm not going anywhere. Rowan lifted the dagger. Next threw herself over her sister. And that was the moment everything changed. The shockwave burst from the twins, not light, not heat, but something deeper, something ancient. The air ripped outward in a purple circle, slamming Rowan backward and extinguishing the red ruin beneath him. Lyra gasped. Was that? Nick's eyes glowed, not blue, not gold, but a swirling mixture of both. Lyra's eyes mirrored the same shifting light. Rowan staggered to his feet, staring at them in disbelief. No, that's impossible. You shouldn't have that power yet. Nick stood, helping Lyra up, their hands pressed together instinctively. Lyra felt it first, a surge of energy flowing from Nick's into her, and from her into Nick's. The two rivers merged into one unstoppable current. Nick whispered, Lyra, I can feel your magic. And I can feel yours, Lyra breathed. Rowan's expression twisted with fear. This isn't right. The prophecy said one twin must die for the other to ascend. You're not supposed to ascend together. Lyra stepped forward, her voice steady. Then the prophecy is wrong. Nick's magic flared, intertwined with Lyra's. Their combined aura filled the chamber with blinding brilliance, warm and fierce, gentle and deadly. Golden shoulders are stop. You don't understand what you're doing. Lyra and Nick raised their joined hands. A beam of fused magic interrupted from their palms, slamming into Rowan and pinning him against the wall. His dagger clattered to the floor. He screamed that the light wrapped around him like chains. Nick's voice echoed with power. You betrayed us. Lyra's voice followed, sharp as lightning. Now face what you created. The light tightened. Rowan collapsed, unconscious, the red glow fading from his eyes. The chamber fell silent. Lyra and Nick stared at their hands still glowing with the merged magic. Nick whispered, What are we? Lyra squeezed her hand, stronger than the prophecy, stronger than Frey. Behind them, Luna and Ajax watched them with awe and fear. Ajax whispered, the twins of the bloodmoon awakened together. Luna held her daughters close. Whatever this power is, we'll face it as a family. But deep in the shadows of the chamber, something stirred, and far away, Frey's eyes snapped open. Chapter 8. Far above the chamber and the shadow hall, where Rowan had struck her down, Frey's eyes snapped open. Her breast tuned sharp red and grasp as she pushed herself upright. The air trembled around her, reacting to her fury. She felt it immediately, a surge of power, ancient and possible, blooming from deep within her lair. Frey staggered to her feet. No, that power should not exist. Her fingers curled, and the runes on the wall flared to life. The twins have awakened. But now she vanished in a swirl of black smoke. Back in the holding chamber, Rowan lay unconscious, bound by the twins' fused magic. The glowing chains of light wrapped around him, pulsed with every breath he took. Ajax stared at him with a mixture of anger and pity. He was just a boy. Luna shook her head. No, he was Frey's weapon. Lyra and Nick stood side by side, their hands still faintly glowing, their magic hum in the air, alive and connected. Nick whispered, What do we do with him? Before Lyra could answer, the temperature in the room dropped. A cold wind swept through the chamber, and Frey appeared. Chapter 9. Her eyes burned with fury as she took in the scene. Rowan bound, the twins glowing with shared power, Luna and Ajax free. You foolish children, Frey hissed. You have no idea what you've done. Lyra stepped forward. We ended your prophecy, Frey laughed. A harsh, broken sound. Ended it. You shattered it. The prophecy was never meant to be broken. Nick held Lyra's hand tighter. Then it shouldn't have been written. Frey raised her hands, dark magic swirling on her. You think you can defy fate? You think you can rewrite destiny? She unleashed a blast of black energy. Lyra shoved Nick aside and took the full force of the hit. Chapter 10. The impact drew Lyra across the chamber. She hit the stone wall with a sickening crack and collapsed to the floor, motionless. Lyra and Nick screamed, scrambled to her sister's side. Lyra's eyes were half open, unfocused. Her breathing was shallow. Blood trickled from the corner of her mouth. Nick shook her. Stay with me. Please stay with me. Lyra's lips moved. Nick, don't let her win. Her hand slipped from Nick's grasp, and her chest stilled. Nick let out a sign that wasn't a scream herself, something raw, primal, and heart-shattering. Luna fell to her knees. Asia held his head. Frey smiled. One twin must die for the other to live. The prophecy is fulfilled. Nick's tears hit the stone floor, and the world changed. Light erupted from Nick's brighter than before, brighter than anything the chamber had ever seen. It poured from her eyes, her hands, her very skin. Fairy started back. No, this is impossible. Next rose to her feet, her hair lifted in a halo of glowing strands. Her voice echoed layered tones, her own something older. You don't get to decide our fate. She placed her hands over Lyra's heart. The light intensified, swirling around both twins, weaving through their bond like threads of gold and blue. Lyra's body lifted from the ground. This was what come back to me. A shockwave burst outward. Lyra gasped. Her eyes flew open. Nyx collapsed into her arms, sobbing with relief. Lyra held her tight. I told you, I'm not going anywhere. Chapter 11. Frey stared at them, trembling. You brought her back? You broke the prophecy. Lyra stood, helping Nyx to her feet. We didn't break it. Nyx wiped her tears. We ended it. Frey's magic flickered. The rooms of the walls dimmed. The chamber trembled. No, without the prophecy, no power. Her hands shook violently. Cracks of light split across her skin. Luna whispered, she's unraveling. Frey looked at her granddaughters, not with hatred, but with something like awe. You two, you were never meant to destroy each other. You were meant to destroy me. Her body began... my eyes are... Her body began to dissolve into dripping ash. Nyx stepped forward. Grandma. Frey shook her head. Do not pity me. I chose this back long ago. I'm gonna have to probably do a part 4 because this is getting long.